Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
All is not perfect there either.
Uh-oh.
After the game on Sunday, the 27-10 loss to the Jets. I think one of the worst losses the Packers have had in the last 30 years, in my opinion, Chris. Think about it. They had the continuous chain of Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. You don't see the Packers get their asses kicked by an ordinary team at home. They've had losses at home. They've had playoff losses at home, right? But you don't see them lose 27-10 at home to a team that is still finding its footing and has been downtrodden for years. You don't see that.
Right.
We did see it.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers says we need to simplify some things on offense. That was his mantra after the game on Sunday. On Monday, Coach Matt LaFleur was asked about it. Let's have a listen to what Matt LaFleur had to say.
I don't know what that means. So, no, we talked about it. It's just anytime that there's a lack of execution, and certainly we got to coach better, no doubt about it. We've got to put our guys in better positions. Just communication from top down and then out on the field, has got to be better. We got to get everybody on the same page. And then to me, it's more about digging at the details of what we're doing.
What's funny to me is he was specifically asked about the Aaron Rodgers comment. And he delivered that line at the beginning like I've been waiting all day to say this, right?
It's Monday. It's the day after the game. You've known you could have prepared the answer, right? That's the number one thing. Go ahead, Mike.
And we've talked about it. And he said we've talked about it.
Right.
So, I mean, I think the moment he heard that on Sunday, he got pissed off. And Matt LaFleur is very good about keeping it close to the vest and staying, at least for the public eye. But the way he delivered it with a smile on his face, like, I've been workshopping this, I've been waiting, and this is my message back to Aaron Rodgers. If he's going to use the media to send messages, I'm going to send messages back to him too. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and I wonder if, did they talk about it after the game, or does he mean that they've talked about this before? That's one of those, too, there where I go, I don't know if he meant they talked about it right after the game. I don't. I wonder if they had that conversation up to that point in between the game and that press conference. I can imagine maybe it happened earlier in the week or something like that, but that comment wasn't made publicly by then either. There's a very real chance that, again, head coach in the NFL, game's over. You might not have said more than Aaron Rodgers was like, hey, let's keep working, blah, blah, blah. Monday morning, you come in, you watch the film. He probably watches it with the quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, head coach might not be a part of that, to where there hasn't been that conversation. I'm just, giving everybody a peek behind the curtain there. But I found that to be an interesting way to start that answer, to your point, Mike. No doubt about it.
And again, I don't want to read too much into it, but I think Matt LaFleur wants us to read something into it.
I would agree.
Have delivered it with a smile on his face. And I think the message is this. You know what? I'm going to be the coach of this team a hell of a lot longer, knock on wood, than Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback. So I've got to have the best interest of this team in mind. And I'm not going to let a cranky old man yelling at clouds, not happy as the plane lands on his career, disrupt what I have going on here. And I got something good going on here. And I'm going to transition to another quarterback probably by next year. So this is my team, not his team. Let's not get that confused. I'm the coach. He's the quarterback, and he can rant and rave all he wants about whatever crazy, stupid shit he wants to rant and rave about, but I'm the coach. This is my team, and this is how things work. And I feel like that's the hidden, deeper message that he kind of wants us to drill down to. He will be there if he continues to coach the way he has for years after Aaron Rodgers is gone. So, and maybe you get to a point where, and I think this is true in any relationship.
Yeah.
I'm threatening to leave. I'm going to leave.
Sure.
I've had enough. I'm threatening to leave. You get to a point where you say, get the out of here then.
Right.
Just go.
Right.
Just go.
Right.
I'm sick of this. Just go.
Well, I don't doubt that. I think you're right. And I think that's probably where he's got to be, to your point, where, wait, I'm going to be here for a while. This is a guy that, with all due respect, he might leave this year. I mean, he might leave after the year. We don't know. I think we all think it's coming to an end here with Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to hang around too much longer. He's just not. But
I think they're going to stop kissing his ass the way that they have. I think they're ready. I think they knew how to get Brett Favre out of there when they were ready for him to go.
Well,
I think they're ready. That's the really deep core. That's the Tootsie Roll center of the Tootsie Pop for Matt LaFleur. He's ready for Aaron Rodgers to leave.
Well,
I think that's because he's not afraid of pissing him off now.
No, I don't think so either. And it's been through a lot, and he's got to deal with them a lot. And when you're not throwing for 40 and 5, right, and in the MVP conversation, okay, now you don't have as much to stand on here. And that's to me where it's just like it's mind-blowing, Mike, because we've had these conversations on our Picks podcast on the show where I just go, it's the most simple. How much simpler can you get? I don't understand what Rodgers wants. I think that's where I question it. That's where it doesn't, to me, it just doesn't connect. Everybody watching the Packers, study them, you watch them, everything. We're all going, could it get any simpler? I mean, 3-yard pass here, run up the middle. 3-yard pass here, run up the middle. I mean, I'm from the church of, holy crap, you got to do a whole lot more. I mean, you give anybody to think about on the defensive side of the ball. The Giants shut you out in the second half. You were simple. You ran a go route and a slant route. It was as simple as it gets. I don't know. That's where he wants it, in my opinion, to be about him, and he wants it. Wait, I want to be able to audible to the play I want. Everybody stay stationary so I could throw a 5-yard completion somewhere. And Matt LaFleur's going, okay, that might be good for your completion percentage and quarterback rating, but we got to start making plays and winning games, so I got to do motion and shifts, and that doesn't necessarily make things complicated. That's where I don't understand it. And on top of that, I also wanted to say, okay, again, I just like to remind everybody, I love Aaron Rodgers, but damn, if you want it simpler, you should have been there in the OTAs to talk about let's be simpler. That's where I come back to that kind of crap, and I just don't want to hear it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, calling out the receivers for not developing fast enough when you had a golden opportunity to spend time with them during the OTAs and gather them wherever, Peru for ayahuasca or wherever he stays in the offseason, California or wherever. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did that, got his guys together in Texas and was there for the OTAs. And, we're so programmed to say, oh, it's voluntary. They don't have to be. They're paying the guy $50 million a year. How many more million do they have to pay him to be all in, truly all in, and be there in a critical year of transition from Davante Adams to who? Alan Lazard, he hasn't stepped up the way that we thought. Where is the guy that's even going to begin to remotely fill the shoes of Davante Adams? We haven't seen it, and one of the reasons we haven't seen it is because Rodgers wasn't there to be as accessible and available. And as I've said before, your guys are less likely to freak out at training camp. You get through all that with OTAs. You get through all that bringing them all together, and you get to know me. Don't be freaked out by my persona.
Yeah, I hear you. You're right.
And when I hear this, we need to simplify the offense. This reminds me of the Lawrence Taylor comments to Bill Parcells when all these guys seem younger and faster. What's going on? And Parcells told him, it's you. And maybe that's at the core of what's going on here. It's not the offense needs to be simplified or it needs to be this or it needs to be that. It may just be getting to the point where it's Aaron Rodgers. And just like Brett Favre, he's become Brett Favre, where he's been talking and talking and talking about retiring, and it may be the point where he needs to.
I don't know if you're, totally wrong there. Again, you've heard me say here for a while, it's got to be more aggressive. There's too many people that I go, that guy's open and you're Aaron Rodgers and you need to throw that ball in there. And I don't know, Mike, I don't know, my theory a little bit with the Rodgers thing too that I think's really popped in my brain over the last year is, it's a protection of his pedestal that's going on right now, at least in my opinion, as far as the way he's playing on the offense. Like, he knows he's not going to catch Brady with the Super Bowls, but his thing is quarterback rating and interception to touchdown ratio. It blows people out of the water. It's the greatest of all time. And I feel like he's a little bit protective of that. And I can't help to say or think that when I watch film, a lot of the times when I've showed plays here, right, where I go, look, this guy's open and he's already throwing it to the flat or checking it down, I got to think there's a part of him that's just or at least to me, that's going, wait, let me just get my completion, my quarterback rating. It's safe. It's easy, all of that. And I don't know. There's just a part of me that believes that as I watch him and watch him play that way.
Not that long ago, he made the argument about being considered one of the greatest of all time. I can't remember the setting. I need to find it now. But to your point, when you don't have the championships, when you don't have the all-time records, you need to have something that becomes Exhibit A for your argument that you're the greatest of all time. And it's the things that you were talking about. Let me throw this at you because I'm looking at the Packers' schedule. They have a bye week 14. We're going to know who the Packers are or aren't by week 14. We're going to know. Right now, they're 3-3, middle of the pack. It's going to break one way or the other. And they got some tough games coming up. They go to Buffalo on NBC in 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
If we were setting odds right now, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, chance of one of those guys tapping out and walking away during the season. Which of the two, if I told you one of the two was going to do it, which of the two is more likely right now to do it?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like normally I would feel like it's Rodgers that would be that guy, but because of this year and some of the off-the-field stuff and that it's hitting home and personal stuff with Brady, like I know what you're getting at, but I think because of that issue there, this is like the one year that I feel maybe it might be Brady just because I feel like, again, I don't know this, but it seems like, his wife is threatening divorce or they're going down that road there. I mean, by all due accounts of what you read in tabloids and any other gossip thing in Hollywood or whatever. So that's the only reason. To your point, I know what you mean. I think usually Rodgers is more the guy to be renegade, to be like, I'm out of here. Screw this. I've had enough. I'm out of here. But this is a weird year to where we're seeing Brady do weird crap and having personal issues that makes me think it might be him on this year. What about you?
Well, I had thought all along there's a chance Brady checks out for good during the season, and I still think there's a chance that happens. But this whole LaFleur thing from yesterday, I watched it yesterday, and it didn't strike me like it struck me today. It's almost like LaFleur is daring him to put up or shut up. That if you have that big of a problem, just go. Just go. We'll pivot to Jordan Love.
Well, what does that mean? It's such a strong comment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means.
Right. That's a strong comment, really.
With a smile.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Like this guy's kind of lost his marbles a little bit. Like I don't know what stick is up his ass, but there always is one. Hey, and you know what? We'll see what he has to say on McAfee's show later today. He gets a chance to respond to Matt LaFleur today. So
they won't ask him.
Listen,
won't ask him.
I don't know what's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. We've seen some crazy things happen in the NFL. All I'm saying is it makes sense to wonder, does one of these two guys say, I'm out of here before the season even ends? That would be unprecedented. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.